soif. Tu bois sans dire à tout.
What's going on, jerk faces? It's your boy Andy, and you are watching Nocturnal Transmissions, brought to you by the Circle of Jerks podcast. It's a conversation you could be having during the day, but having at night. Yes, you are not dreaming. We are live again. I know last week we had a scheduling conflict, but totally Rob's fault. But
it's always my fault.
Yes, but we're back and we're live. I know we're 30 minutes late, but that's also on me tonight too. I'm taking some of the blame. I'm taking some of the blame for tonight because
blame. Should be all the blame.
No, because you did call me and say like, oh, I'm running behind, but luckily for you, I was also running behind, so I'll take half of the blame. But anyways,
I'll give you that.
Yes. With me always the irreplaceable, but I'm giving I'm doing my damnedest to try. The homeboy Rob.
What's going on?
Yes, and so let's get this conversation started, shall we?
Yeah. Well, what's going on, Andy? It's been well over a week now since we've actually talked to each other.
Right? I know, it's so weird.
Is it?
Because we're usually in regular contact with each other.
Yeah, it's funny because you and I, like when we're in regular contact with each other, I usually will see you 3 to 4 times during that week, and you must have gotten tired of me because I don't think we talked all that much last week.
No, we haven't. I mean, I think we exchanged a few texts, but nothing really. But nothing like really substantial. Yeah, 'cause we didn't we didn't film for Up by Up Down. What?
Yeah, we didn't film for Up by Up Down, but don't feel too bad. I didn't really talk to my girlfriend all that much either.
Okay. Was it just because of work?
Yeah, work has been pretty crazy.
I see. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's been more than a week that I finished that project that I had, and so I was kind of busy with that, doing some final edits, making sure everything was good before handing off the work. So that might also been a contributor, and then. I had some issues with my phone as well the last few days.
Did you get it working? Did you get a new phone?
Oh, yeah. Okay, because here's the thing. I had originally planned to switch out the front-facing camera on my phone because it stopped working. And I tried all the fixes and whatever that I was able to find online, but it just wasn't doing it. So I was like, let's just see, because nowadays like all the phones are like sealed and and kind of a bitch to try to attempt any repairs on your own without sending it into whatever company that you got it from, whether it be Samsung or Apple or whatever. And so I found some videos, and it directed you how to get into the phone, and I was able to, and so I was along with the front facing camera, I was also planning on switching out the battery because it's been like almost 4 years that I've had this phone, and like with all the software, it seemed like my phone, they've been sending out a lot of updates. And the recent revelation of Apple, throttling their phones when they could have just said, oh, just change your battery, and it should be working almost like new. And even though I have a Samsung, I decided to switch it out anyways. But the day before the parts came in, I damaged I was trying to effect some repairs on the charging port, and I seem to have damaged the charging port, and so now my phone won't charge.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but luckily, my phone was one of the first phones to have the wireless charging. So the past couple of days, at the end of the day, I've been, I've been spending time at Starbucks charging my phone.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I've been kind of going through the past few days.
All right. I've mainly just been working. Nothing too really exciting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just things are going fairly well over at the post office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having to deal with more customers. So this is technically my first, customer service job I've had to do in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess the first one that I had wasn't necessarily customer service per se.
Mm-hmm.
When I was with the Navy, doing a lot of the working with people's service records and stuff, it was kind of a customer service, but not quite the same thing. So it's a little bit different and a lot of challenges, a lot of new stuff to learn, and so far so good. I only got like one angry old lady that I think wanted to cane me at some point on Saturday. Though to be honest, it was there was a lot on her, not really on me. I think it was just one of those days where she was angry and she just wanted to be angry at the world, so she took it out on me.
Right. Because she would have been angry regardless, but you just happened to be the poor sucker to be on the receiving end.
Yeah, I happened to be the goober that she attacked. So, other than that,
how great is the urge to just punch some of the people at the post office? Come into the post office.
It's not like I can't really defend myself, all that much. So it's it's not one of those. Like if I was working with food, it's like you don't mess with the people that handle your food. It's like I would assume the same kind of logic would apply to don't fuck with the people that deal with your mail. It's
right? The great line from that movie Waiting. It's like she broke the cardinal rule of the service industry. Don't fuck with people that handle your food.
Exactly.
But you'd think that courtesy would translate over to the post office, but the people at the post office don't get no respect.
Nope. Zero. Almost zero.
I personally, I try to do my best to always go in there with a smile and hey, how's it going, and be pleasant. And most of the times I'm not there for any serious business. I'm just there to pick up stamps or something.
Yeah.
And so but I always try to be pleasant and make some small talk and make them feel like they're appreciated, and and I do appreciate them. They do a very valuable service.
Well, I work at your post office, so.
That's true. That's right.
So if I see you waddling in, it's like, oh shit, they just let anybody into this goddamn post office.
Yeah, just for that, I'm gonna be a dick only to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
That'd be a fun day if you just show up out of the blue.
Right. Right. I won't even do anything. I'll just ask you about really stupid things. I'll just grab a tube. It's I was wondering if you could transport body parts in this.
Asshole. There's a whole bunch of weird special stuff that you body parts, I think you can't just transport body parts, but sending out stuff that's been cremated. Mm-hmm. There's a whole special thing that you have to do with it, and God, I don't even know if we even have like all the like equipment for that. Like it's a whole like we don't really deal with that. So we're a small post office.
And bodily fluids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be like considered like perishable, hazard duty. Like
right.
it's
waste product.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I only bring it up because I remember Vice did this. What is it? Not an expose, but like human interest type of deal on this transgender artist who was, collecting,
the urine.
Her, his, Zim's, pee, and they had collected a lot of it, and then they had to have it transported to New York, where it's going to become, be put into a sculpture, and by sculpture, they weren't using it to put it in the clay, to put it in clay or whatever. It was just going to be put into this giant plexiglass cube.
God, yeah. Disgusting.
And when the I don't know if it was necessarily the post office, but it was, it might have been some sort of pickup and delivery service, DHL or UPS or whatever. I can't remember specifics, but they were asking what the items were, and then him, hers, it straight up lied to the person. I forgot what they said it was, but they damn well certain didn't say that was piss.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to send it, and at that volume,
you
wouldn't be able to send.
Yeah, it was like gallons and gallons of piss, and just saying that makes me feel gross.
Yeah, because I think like the most you can send is like 16 ounces or something like that per package. Well, liquid in general, like depending on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of this whole, yeah. And if it's like like something like urine, that's like medical waste essentially.
Right.
You're not gonna be able to send that. It's just not gonna happen. So yeah, they straight up lied. People lie to us all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like anything liquid in here, as you hear it swishing around, it's like, no. It's like, you fucking asshole. And the thing is, we can't. There's only one type of mail that because we can't open it. Like once it's closed, like
once it's sealed and everything, then yeah.
But there's only one type of mail that we can actually like open and inspect, and that's what's called media mail.
Media mail.
Yeah, and so what you can do with that is, it's a little bit cheaper. It's cheaper to send, but it can only be used for like books, music, audio recording, sheet music, stuff like that. Dissertations can't have any ad. And if somebody you're just like, I don't really trust that person, like that they're sending media mail. And so you can actually open it up, or we can open it up, take a look, and it's like, yeah, advertisements, boom, and they end up having to pay like there's a penalty for lying about that, actually.
I mean, is it like the police where you have to have probable cause before you start going through other people's mail, or?
No. Like, that's the only type of mail that we can do that to.
Oh, so it's just media mail.
Yeah. So like if it's if someone says like, I want to send this out media mail, and it's sealed, and they're kind of like, you're like looking at it, it's like, there's no fucking way that this
so there are certain guidelines you have to follow if you are going to classify that specific mail as media mail.
Exactly. Like the other stuff, like if we're if we don't we can't any other type of mail we can't actually open. But what we can do is kind of notify the postal inspectors, and what they'll do is they'll want to see it go through the mail stream and see who picks it up, and then once it gets to its destination, they'll actually investigate. So it's other than that, it's just it's only the media mail that we can actually open before it leaves our facility. Yeah, I had to do that last week, actually.
Last week?
Yeah, it was they sent it correctly, but it was just the guy just didn't seem very credible to us, so we took a look and he did send it correctly, so we just resealed it and sent it on its way.
Well, is it true that urban legend that you could send a coconut through the mail with just a stamp and the address? You don't have to put the coconut in a box or anything?
That may have been true at one time. I don't think that's true anymore.
Oh, not anymore?
Yeah, I highly doubt that's true anymore. Just because I don't. It's a lot. I don't think that would fly anymore.
Okay.
Not with the way it works nowadays.
Yeah, thanks a lot, terrorists.
Yeah, right? I think it would be considered a perishable item, and then it's once it, you can see it too, so it's yeah, we're not sending that.
Okay.
Well, something else that I wanted to talk about, because we haven't talked about Star Wars at all ever.
Yeah, that's our least. That's our least favorite subject to talk about.
Exactly right. And no, not the movies, but I recently got a chance to play the new Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I had held off on playing it just because EA Sports is the one that or EA, I guess, I don't know, it's not EA Sports. That's it. The Electronic Arts is the one that produces the game. And when it initially came out, one of the cardinal sins when it comes to anything gaming is where you release a game and it's one, not complete, it's not complete, or two, when you're playing it, you end up having to do all these what are called microtransactions, not microaggressions, but microtransactions.
Right. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Where it's oh, well, if you really want to get good, go ahead and you're going to have to pay for it, kind of thing. And it's fuck, why didn't you just give us the whole game or sell it to us at a certain price?
Right.
And it's
I do remember hearing about this, and some of the characters were, you could try and grind it out and earn
they made it nearly
the points or whatever.
Yeah.
They made you could try and earn I think it was Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader character that you could play as, and but you could grind and spend 3 days trying to get enough points to to buy Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader, or you can pay $20 and you can have him right now, and it's what?
Yeah, it's bad. It deserved all the criticism that it got. But when I found out they got rid of that, though the mechanics of the game are set up for because a lot of times you would buy some certain things, and it was kind of essentially gambling, because when you get these when you pay for these crates, it's you get 3 or 4 things, and it's at random, so you might not get what you were hoping to get at times. So it's if you're spending money on those crates, you're gambling, really, in essence.
Yeah, so, that is true, huh?
Yeah, it really is.
Because like yeah, you're paying, you're putting money down, but you don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, it's the same principle behind like games of chance, like roulette or craps
Yeah,
or
so
what or
it's
what or even like playing poker or 21.
right.
Same principle.
Same principle. And though as fun as those games are, when you're doing this, it's bullshit. Like when you're actually playing the game, it's bullshit. And unfortunately, the mechanics of the game, like when you do unlock those things, those crates, it still kind of has that same like it's at random, so you're not always gonna get what you're hoping for at times. So it does take a little bit of grinding to get through all that stuff, and in that sense it's bad. It's not good. It's not a good thing. However, I do have to say overall that I am enjoying it. For one reason is that unlike the original, this actually has a single player campaign story that is actually so far pretty dang good. It's kind of a interesting look at things. So the character that you play as is your special forces for the Empire.
Right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was that was like one of the big things that they were kind of touting. These like kind of true believers, within the Empire, and then it's like kind of like taking place after the Battle of Endor, and they blow up the second Death Star.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So that you get to you're kind of getting a little bit of a glimpse into the between story from Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens in a little bit, in a sense. So it's so far I'm enjoying that. The campaign's been really good. I played a little bit of the multiplayer component as well. I'm not as good at the first-person shooter element of it. I've never really been great at first-person shooters to begin with. But I love the like the sky, the air battles with like TIE fighters and the X-wings and all that, and they have it from like several generations of Star Wars. So you have like the original trilogy. You have some of the new stuff from the newer movies. You have some of the prequel trilogy stuff. Actually, as far as the like the first person shooter like part of the campaign, you can either the prequel trilogy. They have it's kind of like playing like the Clone Wars, which is kind of cool. So you get to play as like the droids or the clones. Depending on the side that you're on. So that's actually kind of fun. So I've been enjoying that. But yeah, the game got EA got a lot of hate for all the right reasons. But at the bare bones, just playing the game and not having to deal with all the microtransactions. It's actually not a bad game. I'm really enjoying it. I like the single campaign, single campaign story mode. That's been pretty good. Put
down the beer, Robert.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's been good. That's really what I wanted for the in the original one. That there was no single player campaign at all.
Was the original one just like kind of like a multiplayer thing?
It was mainly just, like they did have like stuff that you could do by yourself, but it's it's not.
No story.
There's no story, which sucks because the original PS4 Battlefront, that's not the original Battlefront game. They had a few. I think they had one or two of them on the PlayStation 2, which were very good. They had a great story. You played on the side of the Empire. Actually, I think at least the second one you did. And it was just kind of they were really good games, and yeah, it was. And when I played the first one, I was I got it as part of when I got my PS4. It came in the bundle, and like I said, I like the multiplayer component, but I wanted a story campaign to play as well, and it just wasn't there. So I'm kind of glad that they finally put one in, and the story itself is actually pretty captivating. I like it a lot. So I look forward to finishing that up in the next few days or so, probably a few weeks, like because I haven't really been able to play a whole bunch of games.
Yeah, I mean, being busy with work and all.
Yeah, it's mainly like work. I get home and then I get like a couple hours and then I have to go to sleep. So
are your hours still like in flux or not consistent?
They're kind of in flux still. They're consistently kind of in flux. Like it's not like one day I start at like 4 a.m. and then the next day I'm at 10 and then back to 4. But like I've been working more of the like afternoons now, or like late morning, early afternoons into the night. Okay. So yeah, it's like I've been on like that side of things.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's really suck having inconsistent hours.
Well, when I eventually end up becoming a career person, then like I'll actually have like a more of a fixed schedule.
Right. I mean, yeah, because you've only been doing this job for like 6 months?
No, less than that. This will be my 4th month.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of getting there.
Yeah. It's not so bad though. I would prefer to like work in the like super early mornings. I actually like that a lot better, but that's just because I like people, yet like I hate people at the same time.
No, I totally get it because my job is all about, at least, regardless, my job is all about dealing with people. And so, like whether, I'm shooting like their shoes or I'm shooting their faces, I have to jump through hoops, and I have to reassure and, hold their hands and like, eat shit sometimes. And there are times where I do get misanthropic, where it's like, God damn, I hate people so much. I become like House.
Yeah, it just makes you want to go home and have like a tall glass of whiskey.
Or a bottle sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have an entire bottle of Jack by yourself. It's like yeah, this will help.
Oh yeah, it was Saturday. Like I actually went out and I was like, because it was a really bad day on Saturday. We had a whole like everything that could go wrong pretty much did. And then I went home and I went out and I went out with with we haven't had the episode yet, but with our friend Lane's Lair, had some drinks with him, and one turned into about like 3 or 4.
Don't they always?
Yeah.
On good nights they do. On good nights.
But no, by the end of the night, I was like, you know what? I'm glad I came out, like, because it was kind of good to just get all that frustration out.
Mm-hmm.
You had something you wanted to talk about too, right, Andy?
I did, yes. For those of you who don't know, there was a kind of a kerfuffle. I would say not a straight up dust up, but there was this YouTuber, beauty fashion blogger, and she put out an email to this hotel, asking for free accommodations in exchange for social media, like basically, what is it? Showcasing them on her social media, Instagram, so on and so forth. And and the owner of the hotel, he replied back in, I think, some of like the best trolling I've ever seen. Because he was like, because she was saying like how many followers she had, and like what her views were. Um, what is it? Yeah, like how many like views she gets per video and everything. But then in the response, he kind of like threw it back at her. It's like, oh, I have just as many, I have just as many followers on Instagram, and I have, and the hotel has 2 Facebook pages with a combined total of like way more than you, or just as much as you. So like, what is so why again do I need you to advertise for me? And he was citing some pretty good points, 'cause he was like saying like, oh, if I give you a room for free, then who's gonna pay the housekeeping? Who's gonna pay for who's gonna pay the cooks, for making your meals, or whatever, like basically the support staff. Who's gonna pay their bills, like if I give you a room for free? And
Makes sense.
right, and it's a valid point, and I couldn't help but kind of feel for the guy, just because I've been approached so often by people and companies, and always looking for free work. It's like, oh, we don't have the budget to pay you, but we will credit you, or we will tag you in our social medias, and all that kind of stuff. And to a certain degree, I would give credence, or I would say like, okay, yeah, some exposure is good, but
that pay in Bitcoin too.
Right, but it's like, I particularly take onus with the companies that that brandish the term startup, startup, to mean like, oh, take pity on me, I don't have any money. It's like, but you have money for this, for your product, or you have, or you have money to pay rent for your office space, or you have money to pay your own salary.
Yeah.
But you don't have enough money to pay for my services.
Yeah, here's our startup company of 600 employees.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Right, or like I mean, not all, but like a lot of like the kind of startup wannabe models, like especially the women, they always go, oh, they kind of like, they kind of make it seem like they're doing me a favor by, me allowing me to shoot them. It's like, oh, this would be a great way to, this would be a great way to add to your book. I was like, it's like, bitch, if I wanted to add to my book, I would just go out and do it.
Right.
Because I would either, what was that?
And I said, we'll just use your work in perpetuity of the universe.
Well, no, not even that. It's just like, they want me to shoot them for free, and they go like, oh, because they think that they have like this great concept or whatever, which ends up being like pretty cliche, and and pretty like standard model pictures, and it's like, oh, you could totally use these for your portfolio. It's like, well, no shit. If you're not gonna pay me, then I own the photos forever, because I'm the one that created them.
Exactly.
And if you try to go and use them or sell them or whatever, then I could sue your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're not paying me for the rights. Because if you're not paying me to create, because if you're not paying me to create this the work, then it's automatically the rights automatically go to the creator, which is the author, which would be me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, kind of going off on a tangent, but still going a little parallel. What is it? I have seen people talk about this, and there's some people, some content creators on YouTube and stuff who saw this and like, oh, this, the email didn't sound like, too far off of, what I get, normally, from people who want to collab or, who are looking to try and, uh, kind of help their career by latching onto someone bigger,
Right.
and I can understand that, and some YouTubers were saying like, oh, the game has changed, and it's about eyeballs, and like this girl was could have potentially brought like all of her like followers, all of her subscribers, to this hotel. And I'm not gonna deny that, because she does have a substantial like following and subscriber base. But I mean, but also, I see it from the hotel owner side, because it's like, you know, yeah, I have this place that that's beautiful, and I put time and money into it, and I have people that I have to pay, and you staying here for like 2 or 3 days means that there's no money coming in for me to pay those people.
Right.
Right. I mean, and just to bring it a little bit closer to home, one of my friends is the owner of a popular eatery. I'm not gonna say restaurant; it's an eatery, And this and and his spot is frequented by a pretty prominent LA family.
Okay.
And he was telling me that this social media influencer approached him and was saying like, hey, if you give me free meals, I will, do this many Instagram posts. I'll do this many, I'll do like, a vlog about your restaurant, whatever, as for, I don't know, like 6 months or whatever, if I can eat there for free. And so,
Yeah.
and he was like kind of struggling with that, because it's like, oh, how do I, because this apparently this social media influencer, did have a pretty substantial following, and but he didn't like know how like exactly to maybe go about it, and I mean, I guess one of the solutions he came up with is like maybe giving her like a gift card. So like every time she comes in, she just swipes the card, and the money will be taken off that card. So that way, it's not like she comes in and like she doesn't have to pay anything. She's still like, or
Right.
But it's because I understand how marketing and such has changed. Where the social currency is very valuable. Having
it is important. Yeah.
like getting a person to like get their followers, like all of those eyeballs that that they have onto your product and thing and service. It's a very valuable thing. And so I guess it's kind of like I think this situation is kind of growing pains for this new evolving market and marketing tactics.
Right. Yeah, because something like I would like just based off when we were kind of talking a little bit about this before we started. My question is always, all right, well, okay, how big is your following? Is it, if it's bigger than mine, all right, maybe we can talk. But it's like like at the hotel, it's like, yeah, we already have like this following. I don't need you.
Right.
it's one of those things, and then it always begs the question too of and I'm assuming that it's seemingly a young person.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that the email was probably very millennial-like, where it was just like there was no respect given within the.
Well, because here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, because in the email she asked for a free room. Okay, and like literally written out and said, "I would like a free room." But in a response video, she said, "Oh, I had asked for a discounted room or free room."
Sure, she did.
Right? I mean, no, but like that's the thing. Like she didn't. Okay, it'd be one thing if she asked for like a reduced price. Because then at least you're showing like some respect. It's like, oh, I think your place is great, and I would like to stay there. Maybe at a reduced price for like dedicated.
Maybe for like 3 nights, I pay for 2 or something like that.
Yeah, I want 3 days, but could I pay for 2? And then I'll do like I'll do a for those 3 days. I'll do a dedicated I'll do dedicated Instagram posts and like a story and like also like include you in the vlog that I the travel vlog that I do. And then like if she approached it like that, I would I'd understand
like something you can work with.
Yeah, it's it'll be a starting point as opposed to like I want a free room.
Yeah, that's
literally what she put in the email. She didn't. She tried to walk it back and say in her response video saying like, oh, I'd ask for a room at a discounted price or for free, but in the email she said I want a free room. I mean, but also for like in exchange for such and such work stuff like posts and vlog and blah 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 blah. But she didn't say discounted price first. She just said I want a free room.
Like I said, there's no problem in asking, but it's also like the way that you ask too is very important.
Right.
And I assume that, and I'm about 1,000% sure that it was, can I have a free room? I can do this. And
yeah, because it's funny because like she talks about like how many followers and subs that she has, right? And then she also references how Universal Orlando, like she had worked with them, but then she didn't tell like the results. She just said like, oh, I worked with them and it was amazing. Making it sound like the experience was great, but like she didn't say like what.
Yeah, the experience for her was great.
Right, it's like, and it was amazing. Like I think the word she used was amazing.
Oh, that's.
And like, but she didn't go into like any of the details, like and then they, and then she didn't go into any of the like business like numbers where Universal said like we got this many more reservations or we had this many more attendance. Like what percentage like did their traffic or like how many more rooms did they book or how many more people came to their theme parks since she did that collaboration with them.
It wasn't like 3 months after my stay their people staying at their place increased by 12% or something like that. Nothing along those lines.
Exactly.
Yeah, where
she just said like, oh, it was amazing, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she said that she told them how many followers that she had, how many subs she had, and it was substantial. I'm not dinging her for that. She does have a substantial influence.
And yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's great. But then but that hotel had just as equal or greater than influence as she did. So it was like, you're coming to me, saying that you can bring all these eyeballs, but I have just as many eyeballs already as you.
Right.
And so it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like, and then like, again, it's like, I think we're in like this time of, growing pains where we're trying to still figure out, this social currency, but then like also trying to reconcile like, old school business, and being about numbers or whatever.
Yeah, there's a way to merge those two in a fashion where.
Right. Yeah, there are ways. Yeah, because I mean, just like the way that we had suggested, if she had come first said like, oh, I was wondering if you could, I want to be there for 3 days. If you could only, if you can give me the price for 2 days, and then, but I'll give you like 3 days worth of Instagram posts, and I'll showcase your lovely hotel in my blogs, and yada yada. As long as that there's like some sort of reciprocity.
Right. And I think too, those are like the type of meetings too that I think would, be better served for, like a phone call, or even better yet, like a face-to-face conversation with like with like some numbers in hand, like, hey, like I've stayed at these places, and this is some of the results from my stays, from what I've done here, and I'd like to do the same. I have an event here. I'd like to do the same for your hotel, and go from there. Because then it's like, okay, hey, let's maybe we can find some sort of middle ground, not just some like email that has can I have a free room? Last time I did it with this place, and it was amazing, great. Like that literally gives zero.
Zero details, nothing like concrete for me to work with. It's like, if it's like if she said after my vlog went up about Universal Orlando, their reservations went up by like 15%, or the amusement park saw like a 20% 20% growth in ticket sales. Yeah. It's like, see that, and then that would be like, holy crap, then that might be that might be worth it.
Yeah, and it's like, but the way that she probably came at it, it's like, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Yeah, it was funny because like he definitely put her on blast.
Yeah, exactly.
He definitely put her on blast, and it was like, and like he did like he kind of redacted, but then not really well. And like if you bumped up like the brightness on your monitor, then you'd be able to see like her name and everything.
It was actually highlighted, not actually redacted.
Right, exactly. I do have like I do have concerns because I've had the experiences where people like constantly kind of jam me up for like free work, and
hey Andy, can you do this editing work for me?
What was that?
Can you do this editing work for me?
Yeah, well, I only do it because this is a mutually beneficial thing for all of us. So and True. Also you guys do look after me, buying me dinners or whatever. But this is I'm also invested in this, so it's not that bad. Even though I do bitch a lot about being the only one that does all the work.
I'm just the pretty face in front of it all.
Yeah. You're the looks. I'm the brains.
Exactly. Yes. That works for me. I've never been the looks before, so it's kind of nice.
Oh, geez, did I inadvertently compliment you? Damn it! Damn it! It's stupid.
Well, it could be worse. You could compliment my girlfriend, which I know you would just like loathe.
What was that?
It could be worse. You could be like complimenting my girlfriend, which would be
I know. Oh my god! I would, if I complimented your girlfriend, I would never hear the end of it.
No, you would never hear the end of it.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't compliment her.
See, and it's all. I will say this. It's also the way she phrases things. It's like, don't you just love this, Andy? And it's like, no, I don't. Where it's like, oh, hey, this is pretty cool. What do you think, Andy? Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. All right. She just wants you to absolutely love everything that she loves, Andy.
I know. Nuts to that. Nuts to that.
For those of you that don't know, who are maybe just seeing this for the first time, Andy and my girlfriend, they get along great. They're fine. It's just Andy loves giving her a hard time. She has the way that she reacts, it makes it so easy.
It makes it okay. The way she reacts makes it too fun not to mess with her.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
I can't argue with that. It's too
if she
funny.
didn't react the way that she does, I would totally like leave her alone, and I would totally not give her shit. But it's just the way that she responds. That it's like you can't respond that way and not have me keep giving you shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. But also, I think it's like, what is it like? Some part of her wants my approval.
Oh, she's dying for it, I think.
I don't know why. I don't know why she wants my approval. I really don't. But she wants it. She wants my approval.
If she watches this, which I'm not sure if she's going to or not, but she's going to be so mad.
I know. Whatever. Shoot, I don't care. Come at me.
If you are watching, I do love you, okay? So I'm just giving you a hard time.
Nice save. Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. But yeah, the whole idea of, like I said, merging that, social media thing, it's just, this new generation, and I'm kind of like, I'm the generation behind that, but it's giving respect to businesses and whatever is still, you still have to be respectful. You can't just throw stuff out there and expect for positive results. I mean, the people would have to be dumb to just be like, yeah, okay, without any sort of question.
Because I've worked in school or church or whatever, and I've organized things, like events, and I've asked like restaurants for to donate food, right? But I'm not coming them and like I'm not like I didn't come at them like entitled, like give me your food. I was like, hey,
how dare you hoard that food from us,
right? Because I was either putting on like some sort of like charity thing or like some sort of fundraiser. I was like, hey, would you be willing to donate some food? And it'd be a good place, good way for you to advertise and blah 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 blah. So I guess I was asking, but then my intentions, it wasn't for myself. I was like, I had noble intentions.
Right. Well, you're asking, but you're asking in the right way. You're not just like gimme,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, hey, there's some sort of mutual benefit here. Obviously, you're getting the free food, mm-hmm. yet at the same time, you're giving them something in return, where it's not just this pie in the sky thing, but it's like,
yeah, but then I guess in like they're in a now like this new generation's mentality is like they're doing the same thing. They're offering you something. They're offering you eyeballs. They're offering you their audience, which I'm not going to discount. Again, I'm not going to discount because some of these social media influencers, their reach is substantial.
And there's no doubt about that. But like what
I
I'm
guess
saying
it's like the attitude. I think it boils down to the attitude.
Exactly. It's eyeballs are just eyeballs until there's something that you can kind of maybe this is kind of the the old generation kind of side of me looks at it where you're giving them, it can't just be eyeballs. There has to be number. What does that represent? Like how is that going to help me?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then so then we come back to like the numbers and it's like, oh yeah, after I featured such and such restaurant, their sales went up by this many %, or their the amount of people that that had to wait, I don't know, like had went up sharply, like 5%.
Right. Because if it's a luxury hotel or whatever, it's like that's $1,500 that I'm just, tossing down a hole. Like, what does it get me? If me tossing 1,500 down this hole ends up gaining me another like $10,000, then great, no hurt there. But it's kind of or in the case of the restaurant thing, like how often are you going to be eating here where I'm giving you free meals? Like, is it like
exactly, because like are you going to come in here like every single day? For every
3
every meal a day.
Yeah. Well, then you're just a bum.
Because then you're just basically turning my place into a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure my friend is not against, but he started that business to make a profit.
Right. That's his livelihood. That's his family that he's trying to support right there. So it's.
But yes,
trust me.
But it's kind of funny because like the family, the really prominent family that comes and eats at his place is like I think that would be enough.
Right.
Like because they are very like influential, and they are constantly eating his food.
Well, that's a great thing. That's
So I mean, and again, because they are like prominent and influential, I know that once that it did come out that was the place that this family ate, like he got a total like influx of business.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's where it's like it's kind of I'm assuming that they didn't necessarily ask for a free meal, but just like.
No, they just went and like started eating it. They just came and started, getting the food and eating it, and then, featuring it on like their social medias and whatever, and and then people got like curious, like, oh, where's this food from? And then
there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely the yeah, like I said, I really do think it's the we can find like that good mixture of both of that, where it's it's not just the hey, I have all these eyeballs that watch me and what I do. Let me give me this stuff for free, and those eyeballs will be watching you too. Like, I'll tell them that all these great things about you. Where it's like that to me, that just kind of comes off as very arrogant, very entitled. Whereas like there's still like you should still show kind of that little bit of that respect to these businesses, because you have to remember that these are people's like livelihood, and you have to show that respect and like give them something that they can like hold on to. Hey, this place got a 15% increase in business. That place got an influx of business, or they made sure they spent like $1,000 on me, but it came back tenfold. It's one of those things. It's give them something that they can hold on to their hand, or it's like, or something like maybe it's not like necessarily something like quite that significant, but it's like, okay, hey, like why don't we work out a deal where it's like I can't give you the whole weekend free, but I can give you a discounted price, or I can give you like the luxury suite for the like the lowest price that we have.
Or something along even like, or maybe just like comp the food, like pay for the room but comp the food.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Young people piss me off.
Are we really getting to that? Are we getting to that age now, Andy, where it's like, goddamn youngsters, waving our canes at everyone?
I don't know. I think it's just we starting to see like all like the foolhardy things that we used to do at their age, and it's like, oh god, I can't believe I was that dumb.
Oh yeah, there's times where I'm like that. Yeah, but even then, like, because watching young people nowadays, and then looking back to like when I was a kid, and like an actual look at like when I was a kid, and I don't remember being that much of a kind of a prick.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I'm pretty sure I was pretty even though, we all kind of, have nostalgia.
Again, my parents
we all have nostalgia for our own nostalgia, so.
True.
And so.
Then again, my parents hit me too, so it's if I had acted like that, so I kind of tried not to act like that.
Or at least not in front of them.
Yeah, exactly.
This is exactly how I got away with murder.
Yeah. Well, did I tell you about all like the shenanigans that I used to pull as a kid, though? Like all the like little pranks I used to pull.
No.
All right. So
give me a little taste.
Little taste. All right. Well, one thing that I used to do all the time, it's nothing like really all that substantial, but I used to sneak up and like I'd put clothespins on people. Like those old, like the like those wooden clothespins that you'd use to hang laundry and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we used to go because my mom used to air dry our laundry.
All right, same.
And so we had a zillion of them like lying around.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sneak around, like usually would be like my parents or like like my parents' friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I got really good at just being able to like slip in behind them, clip it on like if they're wearing loose like fitting shirts, guaranteed that they're gonna get a clothespin on there. But I could sneak in and get them on there without them noticing. And one of my dad's friends, he was my dad rides Harley Davidson, so he knows a lot of rough biker types. And one of his friends is one of those guys, tatted up, has like the long ponytail, and was kind of one of those hardcore bikers. And I remember putting a clothespin on one of his flannel shirts, and he went out. He ended up going out to the store, doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Came back, clothespin was still there. Never felt it once. And someone, and I was already at this point notorious for this prank. And he came back, and my parents were there. It's like, dude, you have a clothespin on your shirt. He's like, son of a bitch! Like, it's like that little rat bastard got me. So there's a bunch of other ones that I used to pull all the time too. But that's one that I used to do when I was a kid. I was notorious for some of like the dumb pranks that I used to pull.
Mm.
Nothing that like got anyone hurt or anything. It was just like little dumb stuff that I would do.
Right. Yeah, I was just when I was younger, I was just like a kind of a weird kid.
Well, that's a given.
Jeez, thanks for that. I guess one of the things that I used to do was I would lick people, and I would in Korean I would say, "You taste good."
What?
Yeah, this is when I was really little.
What?
This is when I was
like how little?
Like when I was like 3 or 4.
Okay, that's all right. That's cute then. When you're 3 or 4.
For some reason, I'd pretend I'd be a dog. I'd go lick their face, and then I would like in Korean, I would say, "You taste good."
It's like, yeah, because you were like 10. I'd be like, dude, that's creepy.
Oh no.
3 or 4, that's like it's. It's fine. I could deal with 3 or 4 3 or 4-year-old like doing that to me. It's like, what the Oh, you're 3 or 4. Okay, got it. You're just a little kid.
When I was older though, man, I think I repressed a lot of stuff. I know I was a little shit, but I can't remember.
Well, that's also a given.
Huh?
That's also a given.
Oh, that was a little shit. Yeah. Of course, but who's not a little shit when, like, they're like, 13, 14, 15?
That's true. I was always kind of a smart ass, just like I am today. Yeah, wow, crap, it's already almost 10.
Yes, I mean, we did start later, so.
True, yeah.
Yes.
It never ceases to amaze me that the hour just kind of flies by.
Yeah, I mean, we always fill the hour. I mean, sometimes we go a little bit over, sometimes we hit like an hour and like some change, but we never have to worry about filling the hour.
Yeah, no, I just it really flew by today, to be honest.
I mean, I think maybe because also like we weren't in contact very much the past 2 weeks, and so it's like it was a lot more fun talking and like catching up.
It wasn't the normal drag that it usually is.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what do we talk about? I don't know.
Like, say, all right,
damn
Robert
kids,
again.
Damn millennials.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that should become a segment. Like, damn millennials.
Oh God, that'd be an hour in itself.
Yeah. I mean, although technically we are millennials. Also,
are we millennials?
Yeah, because it's there's no like official like start date, but
I thought those were all the '90s kids that were like millennials.
No, it started like it's what is it? It's understood. It's understood that millennials start from 1980 to 99.
God damn it!
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to be associated with this generation. Then
I know. Neither do I. That's why I don't. That's why I consider myself. That's why I consider myself generation lowercase x.
Yeah, that's kind of like how I feel too. Where I don't feel like I'm not them, but I'm not this group either. So
right, exactly. That's what because that's not I'm not generation upper capital X. I'm lowercase x.
Yeah,
because I still remember a time where I had to call when I wanted to talk to my friend I had to call their house and actually talk to their parents first sometimes.
Right?
I had to go through the gauntlet. I had to go through the gauntlet of talking to my friends. It was like, oh, hello, Mrs. or Mr. So and So. Yes, I have been good. Yes, my mother's rash has. So yes, my mother's rash has gone away. Thank you for asking. May I talk to Jimmy now? That kind of thing.
Exactly. Oh God! Remember well now we don't have to. Nobody can remember a number to save their life anymore. But when we had to write down in an address book people's numbers
you just memorize them.
And then
you just memorize them.
I used to memorize all my friends' numbers.
Yeah, the really really close homies. I remembered all their numbers.
Yep.
And it's like.
I couldn't tell you your number right now.
Huh?
I couldn't tell you what your number is right now.
Oh, neither can I. Neither can I.
I think the only numbers that I have memorized right now are I know my parents' numbers, and I know my girlfriend's number, and that
by
is
heart.
It. By heart.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I only know my sister's phone numbers. I'm trying to learn my parents, but I don't know why I bother because my mom barely uses her phone, and in an emergency I wouldn't necessarily call my dad first.
Oh man.
Nothing against my dad. I love my dad. It's just it's
I'll usually call my mother first.
Yeah, I mean, well, he can barely speak English, and I can't translate what I'm going through in Korean, so I might as well just talk to my sister, and she'll just fill it. My sisters, and then they'll just fill in my parents. If there's ever an emergency.
Right.
But yeah, I should definitely. Yeah, I mean, I keep saying that I'm gonna start memorizing phone numbers, but I never do.
It's never gonna happen anymore.
It's never gonna happen.
Not in the age. When the smartphones came out, it was just game over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of low key want to downgrade to a flip phone again.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, just every so often I get the notions like, man, I'm so sick of this phone. Or, I'm going to downgrade to a clamshell. But I never do.
I don't know if I could do that anymore. Just because there's a lot of other stuff that I do on my phone. So
Yeah, I mean, same with me. I do like Amazon. I do emails. I do all sorts of stuff that requires a smartphone. But
right.
Every once in a while, I just get this notion where it's like, oh, I hate this. I'm so sick of this thing.
Like I'm not like how it is with like younger people, because I can actually like put my phone away and just like forget it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I could go back to like it was kind of like the day that I finally I upgraded to satellite radio.
Mm-hmm.
No way in hell will I ever go back. It's just not gonna happen. I don't think I think it's kind of the same with like going to like one of those like flip phones. I don't think I'll ever go back.
If I ever become a spy, I'll probably have to invest in burner phones.
Burners? You drug dealer, you.
Shh.
That's the real.
Don't be putting out my business unless you're looking for the hookup. Just looking for the hookup.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, it's been an hour. I mean, I don't want to belabor this anymore.
No, it's been that's our time.
Yep, that's our time, folks. I hope you enjoyed it.
I hope so too.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Before any final thoughts, Rob?
Final thoughts. So for anyone listening, Thursdays, check out Up by Up Down. We're just about done with the game that we've been going through, Super Mario Brothers 3 for the Famicom. Much harder, much crazier than the North American version. I had a fun and difficult time with the game, as you. A lot of
swearing.
Yeah, and we also have an episode of the main show coming out. What is it, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or is that also going to come out on Thursday?
No, that's dropping. I'm trying to space them out, so I'm trying to have the main podcast come out on Wednesdays. So we have Tuesdays Nocturnal Transmission, Wednesdays Circle of Jerks podcast, Thursdays Up by Up Down.
Up by Up Down. That works for me, and I gotta actually, as soon as we finish, I gotta finish doing a few things so that episode comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, get to work, slave.
Right, and we have our. It'll be our first female guest that was on the podcast. So
yes,
lots of good stuff. So come check that out when it drops. And that's all I got.
Yes. Yes. As Rob said, there is a episode of the regular podcast dropping Wednesday. We recorded this some time ago, I'll admit. So there might be a few dated references.
Yeah.
But please ignore. Please ignore.
It's funny because we did that a few months ago, and to think that it's like dated already, we're really in that like really fast moving time now where it's.
Well, I mean, there's only like maybe one or two references, and they're all brought up by you, so it's your fault. See, so it all boils down to your fault. See, do you see why I want to freaking replace him? Do you see why? This is what I have to deal with.
Well, I constantly date myself day by day. I give out so many references to things where people just give me this puzzled look as to like, what the hell are you talking about?
See, people, this is what I have to work with. This is why I keep threatening to fire his ass.
Deservedly so.
Deservedly, sometimes. Like right now. But anyways, that'll do it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to join us next week, as always, or usually. Tuesdays, Nocturnal Transmissions, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sometimes, maybe, I don't know. Flip of the coin. We'll see how Robert is feeling that day. Don't forget to.
I wasn't late. I wasn't the one that was like completely late today.
Actually, you were because we agreed on 8:30, but then you went over.
Had I been ready exactly at 8, would you have been ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Anyways, that'll do us for tonight. Don't forget to join us next week. Don't forget to follow us on our social medias, Twitter at Podcast COJ, Instagram Circle of Jerks Podcast. Don't forget that tomorrow, the episode 6 of the main podcast, Circle of Jerks Podcast, will be dropping. So be sure to check that out. And the following week, we'll be dropping excerpts from that episode. If it's too long for you to sit and watch and or listen. So with that, we'll say goodnight and have a pleasant tomorrow.
See you guys.